Well, good morning to everyone here in person and those who are online and visiting us in social media. I'm Reverend Mona Lopez, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be visiting with you here today. Do we have any first-time visitors present today? All right, welcome. And to all the visitors on social media and online, just let us know by typing in the message bar there. All right. May this message touch us all. Most of my ordained journey has been through the lens of a chaplain working with those with grave illnesses or crises, those in hospitals and detention centers, those who are taking their final journey home. It is the chaplain's lens which has been a significant part of my spiritual journey. And it's the part that I share with you here today. It is an instrumental lens that reaches out in ministry, in events, or people, and in the way that I'm visiting here with you today. Now, I've known from an early age, as young as the 3rd grade, that this closeness to the divine was special to me. This feeling of total peace, acceptance, and love was a part of me that I never wanted to be without. As a young girl, the words to express these feelings, well, the words just wasn't there. All I knew was that deep inside of me, no matter what I did, no matter what I would become in life, this total feeling of love and acceptance would never leave me. I couldn't explain it. This power greater than myself, this divine, mysterious, powerful, unexplainable, all-accepting power loved me, no matter what. When I was mischievous, which was quite often, and admittedly is still true, I was still loved. When I was presented as a normal child, I knew I wasn't. I was loved. When filled with joy, excitement, despair, confusion, and sadness, I was loved. When the pressures of the world beat me down with verbal abuse and discouragement, I would return to that place of prayer and find compassion, understanding, healing, and love. This mystical presence, the allness of this presence that I couldn't see or touch, but I could sense and feel. It's a mystery. How do you get to know a mystery? I wondered. If the mystery was a person, well, you would have that person or that image of the person. You would get to know the person one-on-one or through publications or media, past and present. You would be able to hear the different tones in the person's voice, as well as understanding their thoughts, their dreams, their ideas, or hopes. You would be able to read the body language, come to understand whether they had a good heart. Ultimately, a determination would have to be made. Either the person was a good egg or not. But this all-encompassing, powerful mystery doesn't have a familiar body that we are used to seeing, doesn't have any body language or a voice that we're used to hearing. This mysterious presence is all around and within, and yet for many, for the most part, there exists a distance, an unfamiliarity, even unfortunately, a lack of wanting to get to know that presence. We're here today because of Wakan. Wakan, according to the Sioux and the Lakota and other tribes, was used to describe something strange, something wonderful. Great Wakan, the Great Spirit, or Wankantaka, or the Great Holy Flame of Life by the Southeastern tribes, is the Supreme Spirit, that is that energetic force of the universe. This energetic force that not only created the universe, but encompasses the universe. Wakan has the power over everything on earth, is above humankind, and wasn't born or dies. Quote from the book Mo, Demons, Gods, and Goddesses. Through Wakan, there came a great unifying life force that flowed in and out of all things. The flowers of the plains, blowing winds, rocks, trees, birds, animals, and was the same force that had breathed into the first man. A great unifying force that flows through all things. Unifying, to bring together, to integrate, consolidate, merge, become a single unit from conflicting theories, thoughts, beliefs, countries. A great unifying force in and through all things. A unifying force. Yet today, as we have particularly seen in these past weeks, if not decades, we're not unified. Media poll tells us we're more divided than we have ever been. A divided people, divided families, divided faith journeys, a divided nation. Why? When there is this great unifying life force that flows through all things, why are we divided? Well, we can always echo prominent, decisive political voices and blame it on everything else or everyone else, taking no account for our words or actions. But is that unifying? Can't we just opt out of living in this divided world? Opt out of the duality of the world? We are either one party or not. We either believe or we don't. There is either peace or war, love or hate, up or down, yin or yang, heads or tails, right or wrong, joy or sorrow, sickness or health. Either you are for me or you are against me. opened or closed, in or out. I'm sure many of us here can remember our parents, our grandparents, aunts or uncles saying, either come in or go out, but shut the door. You're letting the bugs in, or the cold air out, or the hot air out. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. It reminded me of the song in 1965 by the Lovin' Spoonful, Did You Ever? Did you ever have to make up your mind and pick up one and leave the other behind? It's not often easy, and it's not often kind. Did you ever have to make up your mind? Did you ever have to finally decide and say yes to one and let the other one ride? There's so many changes and tears you must hide. Did you ever have to finally decide? That's showing my age, isn't it? Well, here we are. Are we going to finally decide to be like the lotus flower that in the muddy water of suffering pulls from within that divine spirit and then grows into the beauty of happiness for all to see? Are we going to grow into that beautiful divine life force we have been created to be in this suffering world so that we can live fully and happily? Or are we going to subscribe to the idea of the muddy water of a suffering world? Lakota philosophy. Did you ever have to finally decide to walk the red road that allows an unselfish, unmaterialistic, generous life in balance and in harmony with all things, to continue the journey beyond the Milky Way? Or follow the black road where a selfish, materialistic, greedy life will be pushed off the Milky Way to come back to Earth and be reborn into a new body and given another chance to grow in harmony? A redo. So, what is this mysterious unifying life force that brings out the inner beauty in the most unexpected ways? It's the presence of love. From Divine Truth. Presence is the principle that for truth to be present and absorbed by the soul, love must be present. In my journey, it has been said, truth will always resonate on the soul. For me, I agree. But bear in mind, Wakan Tonka, the Great Spirit, or the Great Flame of Life, carries a wide variety and range of meaning, and that truth may be different for each of us, since each of us are on our own spiritual journey, and it's different. From Blackout. I could care less if you believe what I believe. It's none of my business if my spiritual path, it's none of my business if my spiritual path is okay with you or not. I don't care if my words or actions are blasphemous, sacrilege, or an abomination in your religion. I don't belong to your path, nor do I need your opinion of your God. I'm too busy doing my own thing, making my own magic, helping folks who need it to try to please everyone else. My way isn't a concern to you. When we realize that at the center of the universe there dwells the Great Spirit, and the center is everywhere. It is within us. Then the things that divide us in practice of faith or of worldly biases and prejudice won't matter at all. For when our energy is released to go back to the center of the universe from which it came, it will simply be spirit meeting spirit. Everything else, including all the general or spiritual hoops this world requires, humankind requires, won't be important. They simply won't matter. Over the years, I have been privileged to be in the presence of so many internal transformations. In these moments, when one gives way to what really counts, what really is important, those worldly matters don't matter at all. This new awakening process introduces a new dimension of meaning, a new dimension of reality, an openly honest conflict to the searing truth to human existence. Now, we can continue to be in a state of imbalanced or unbalanced, like the teeter-totter or the seesaw, being up or down and feeling the tension that is generated. Or we will finally decide that, as many have said, life is meant to be good. So as you walk upon the sacred earth, treat each step as a prayer. Blackout. There can never be peace between nations until we know the true peace which is in the souls of people. This comes when people realize their oneness with the universe and all its powers, and that the Great Spirit is at the center, that all things are at work. And that is, the center is really everywhere. It is within us. Blackout. I want to think of myself as a human being, because under the sky, under the heavens, there is one family. It just so happens then that people are different. Bruce Lee. Wakan Tonkin, great mystery, teaches how to trust our hearts, our minds, our intuition, our inner knowledge, the senses of our body, the blessings of our spirit. Teach us to trust these things so that we may enter our sacred space and love beyond fear, and thus walk in balance with the passing of each glories. Meitaku yi oyashin. We are all related. Peace.